Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest, and I am glad to be here, glad to have you here as well. If you can hear me with my brand new mic that Joey took some time to work on, if you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know in the chat that if it sounds good or not. I think that it should sound good. Joey and I did a lot of, well, more so Joey than I, did a lot of work on this mic to make sure that it was working well. So hopefully everybody can hear me loud and clear today. And hopefully the mic does not drop out, but Joey will be keeping an eye on it. Much better gooder, says Mark. Mark, I look at it, he says, Mark says, I want to chat, but I don't want people to know that I subscribe to this channel. Sigh, Mark. Good thing I met you in person. Massimo is here from Switzerland. I love that we have a global reach in this group here. So let's go see. Joey, show me how many people we got here, because I want to see if we can get up to, I need us to get up to 300 people today. I got my alert set. It's probably getting ready to go out. I want to, it was a small size, says Mark, you know, and that needs to go viral. I started that. That's called a voice emoji. Voice emoji. Good afternoon, Narajan. Glad to see you here. Jake is here. I still love you, Glenn. There you go. As long as you love me, don't hate me. That's all. I don't want you to hate me. If you're brand new to the channel, folks, I want you to take a moment right now to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, so that you will get alerted to when new live streams like this come out or new videos come out. I got a hot video for you guys tomorrow. It's going to come out at 6 p.m. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. So make sure you check in on it. It's going to be about commodities. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's going to be about commodities. Mark from Brooklyn. There you go. I got to love that. You know, I was born and raised in Brooklyn. All right. So with that, and don't forget, if you like the content, don't forget to hit the like button as well. Again, I'm trying to get to 300 people. I need you guys to share this content out on your social circles. Let's get people in here so that they can get to be a part of VV Nation and see what we do here. We do a lot of really good work here as far as staying on top of what's going on in the market and give you the pertinent information. All right. So with that, let's get started looking at, I can't see that screen. Looking at what's going on in the market right now, a lot of yellow. Notice that we have moved from a lot of green to a lot of yellow. What did I say yesterday? I did put out a short yesterday that said, hey, folks, you know, don't be afraid to take money off the table. Hopefully you did that. If you saw the short and you did capture profits, type a 1 in the room. If you did see the short on YouTube and you took profits, type a 1 in the room. If you did not, type a 2 in the room. Oil is Nikki. You need to watch tomorrow's video. It's going to talk about that. And I've got 6 commodities that I want you guys to take a look at, but I am going to tell you which commodities you need to consider and which ones you need to wait on. You don't want to miss tomorrow's 6 p.m. video. All right. So there we go. Now buying puts. And you know, there you go. Thank you for that, Joey. You know, I just went and bought into a Contra ETF HIBs, the high beta. I just put on a trade for that today. I got a couple of grand in that. Let's just go see what goes on the market. We do have a primary wave down, as you can see. Let's see if the market stays and we keep that. Gary says, where do we find these videos? They're on our channel. If you go to our channel, it's one of the first videos that are up there. All right, Badger says, I know you're busy with a lot of stuff, but I miss you in the Jockey Club. I know. Again, I've got a lot more energy into the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get at least one day or so. And I think next week, because Steve will be doing Color Guard, I think next week I will be on Thursday and Friday. All right, I will be in Thursday and Friday. And there's another one. Marvin says, thanks goodness for the 28-day challenge. Setting stops saved me today. Way to go. Folks, so it's not about just the videos that we do on YouTube. A lot of it is we give a lot of great content offline. We're going to talk a little bit about that today as well. All right, so a lot of yellow. Primary wave is down. Let's go see if we close with a primary wave down. That's the first indicator that I start to look for before I start taking more defensive positions or start playing the market to the downside. Right now, I've already started to take profits off the table. I did that a couple of days ago. I let you know what was going on, that the MTI was looking toppy, that the market was looking toppy, and I'm glad to see that a lot of you saw the short and you did take profits off the table. I love Marvin's statement about the 28-day challenge to stop saved him. The DEW is still up. Do not panic sell, guys. Market always comes back and kiss previous resistance. So hike him. The biggest thing for me is that the primary wave is down. A lot of my stocks hit my stop criteria. I didn't panic sell. I was part of my plan. It was part of my plan. So I didn't panic sell. And I'm with you guys, with you, hike them. Don't panic. Don't panic. You don't need to panic. Having the VectorVest software or the system will help to always keep you on the right side of the markets and let you know when the market's looking toppy or when the market is starting to look for a bottom. That's what it's all about. Go Giants. Yeah, I know. They're getting ready to play the Eagles. I'm kind of nervous about that. Did you take profits? 60% said that they took profits. That is amazing. And I'm glad that we were able to get that information to you in a timely fashion. And hopefully, we're going to keep doing that. On days that we can see something happening, I will put out a short. All right. So with that, did you take, Joey, it popped up again. Is that for a reason? Can I click on end poll?
It's just because I pinned a message and then I unpinned it.
Oh, okay.
You can end it anytime you like.
Okay. Thank you, Joey. By the way, say hi to my producer, Joey. Everybody say hi, Joey. All right. Joey is amazing. He's in a mood today, though. I don't know what the heck was going on with him. He was in a mood today. Hurt is still hurt. Is hurt still hurt? If that could be a good positive for us. All right, let's get into what news is changing, is moving the market. When you say you put it out, do you mean Twitter? The video that I put out was on YouTube. It's called a short. It's only a 1-minute video, James. So I also put a lot of stuff out on Twitter as well. If you don't follow me on Twitter, go search for @Glenn Tompkins Jr. I put out a lot of stuff on my Twitter feed. Follow that as well. A lot of stuff that we don't even talk about here, what's going on in the market as well. All right. Let's go see what news is moving the market. We'll go do that first. Where is it? There we go. I think is that the right one? Yep. And let's go start off. This is big news. This is news that's coming up a lot. The U.S. officially hits the debt limit and begins extraordinary measures to pay the bills. The problem with the U.S. government hit its borrowing limit, causing the treasuries to activate extraordinary measures to keep paying the government's bills. I don't know what all of the extraordinary measures are, but if we can't pay our bills, we're going to default on them, and that would be bad. All right, that is bad. Oh, Joey put the short up there for you. There you go. There's the short. And again, shorts are only about a 1-minute video, which encapsulates, something that I see that's going on. A lot of them are going to be pre-market stuff. A lot of it's going to be pre-market stuff. All right, so laugh out loud. I watch shorts every day. James, then you should be able to see our shorts on stuff. And Jay, don't even say, James says he watches shorts every day, and I don't want to hear Jay talking about what's in my shorts. I don't want to talk. Todd was long-winded today. I'm sure he can hear me through the door, but there it is. I knew Jay was going to put that. Jay, you're in timeout. Mark, escort Jay to timeout, please. All right.
Oh boy.
Jay is in timeout. What? Why? You're in perpetual timeout, Jay. That's where you stay. You stay in timeout. I think you like it in there. All right, next one. Fed's Collins backs slower pace of hikes to get the rates above 5%. I think a lot of people feel that the terminal rate on interest rates is going to be above 5%, especially if the Fed is still trying to get interest rates, inflation down to 2%. I'm telling you, folks, we still got a lot of hurt in store. All right. I don't think we've really begun to feel the hurt yet with the hawkish Fed. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. Hi, Monica. I'm glad to see you here live. Awesome to see you here live in Trending Thursday. Again, we're up to almost 200 people. I'm trying to get us 300 people in the room, folks. You guys need to help me out. Share this with everyone you know. Let's get 300 people, and then we'll try to get 4. At some point in time, I'm hoping by the end of the year, we can have thousands of people in here, because we're not here just touting and saying, go buy this. We give real education here. T-minus 2 weeks, a quarter rate hike. You think it's going to be a quarter rate hike, Rick? I still think that it's going to probably be about a 50 basis points. I think it needs to be higher, but I think it still needs to be about a 50 basis points or higher. But even if it's a quarter, even if it's 25 basis points, you still got to realize that the Fed is still raising interest rates. All right. And I think that that's important. No matter what, no matter how low he goes until he pauses, he's still raising interest rates, Jake says the same thing, a quarter. I'm thinking 50. I think he does another 50, but that's just me. All right. Jobless claims. How about jobless claims fell by 15,000 last week? New applications for unemployment benefits declined to the lowest level. Is that because people are finding jobs, or is that because people are jumping out of the job market? Very interesting, right? Next one, the Fed's Beige Book says business expect weak growth in the months ahead. All right, so put that, and a lot of that is going to come back to the hawkish Fed, and still inflation is still high. Even though it's coming down, it's still high. And again, what's the next big thing that I'm looking for that's going to affect the market this year? What's the next? Type it in the room. What have I been saying is going to affect markets adversely in the coming year of 2023? It's something that I've been saying over and over and over. I know that the jobs are being laid off. I hear that, but there we go. Mark got it. Earnings is what's going to affect this market this year in a bad way, because with the rising interest rates, businesses are going to find it harder to do business, and they're going to start missing earnings. And that's going to add more fuel to more downside in the market. Couple that with a hawkish Fed. Now, let's talk about a commodity, U.S. crude. Somebody said that crude is going to take off. I'm with you. But is it the right time to buy crude right now? Make sure you tune in to tomorrow's video at 6 p.m. We're going to talk about that. But crude inventory is up by 8.4 million barrels last year. Now, my question is, where the flying flip did we find all this oil? Where did it come from? Is it still from the oil, from the reserves? I don't know. So even in reading this story, nothing could really, there was nothing that I get here that I could discern getting that much. Department reported a crude bill of 18.96 million barrels. The EIA has reported a total crude bill of almost 30 million barrels over the last 4 years. Good afternoon, Manju. Good to see you. I believe the market will tank after the Apple bad earnings. That's another thing. Tech earnings are about to come out. Bank earnings started already coming out. Goldman missed. But JP hit, or Goldman, one of them missed and brought the Dow down about 7%. All right, so banks are starting to report. Techs are going to start reporting. Put those two together in the first quarter. We're going to see Schwab missed. Absolutely, Mark. Schwab missed. It's going to be I'm telling you, earnings is going to be an interesting thing coming into this year. So crude is up. I am still bullish on oil, but let's go see tomorrow's video to see how much. Goldman Sachs missed. Oh, Goldman Sachs. Golden Slacks. It's Goldman Sachs. It was GS that missed. Gotcha. How about this? Procter & Gamble revenue and profit fall as company looks to higher prices to offset declining sales. Now, that's going to be interesting when it comes down to missing on earnings. What does a company do? One, they start laying off people. Two, they start raising prices to overcome the ability or the lack thereof to keep the bottom line in the black. So I'm thinking that a lot of companies are going to go through that. Another thing I think is going to happen, a lot of companies that are struggling, the smaller companies are going to be ripe for getting bought up. All right, so a lot of mergers and acquisitions, going to be a lot of acquisitions this year, because with the rising interest rates, a lot of companies that are weaker companies are going to have a hard time, and they are going to get gobbled up by the big boys. It's going to happen. All right. How about this? Now, this is a story. Now, how many of you paid attention to the app harvest story that I did a couple of weeks ago? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you paid attention to the app harvest information that I gave and made some money? Type of 1 in the room. Now, I'm not all about big time. I'm not about pumping the stock, but I pay attention to the news. I pay attention to the news. And if the news makes sense, I'm going to let you know about the stock and hopefully make some money. Here's another stock, pharmaceutical. Jazz Pharmaceuticals and Zymeworks announced 84% overall survival rate at 18 months from phase 2, evaluating that thing right there. Expressing. Now, Joey, I need a drum roll. I need a drum roll because I'm going to actually pronounce this. Joey, give me a drum roll.
You got it.
That's not a drum roll. Anyway, metastatic gastroesophageal adenocarcinoma. Woo! Hold on. I think I got it. Say again? I did practice that earlier. I did practice that. So anything what we can push going into, Ben said nice. Where's the ATI now? Phil, I'm not going to give that information out here because there's a lot of people who are not subscribers to the VectorVest software. I'm not going to give away the ETI where it is right now. So if you are a subscriber, you can see that on Fridays. But if you're not a subscriber, I'm not going to give away everything. I won't. It's the throat cancer. Thank you, Roger. Roger says it's throat cancer. And Mark says, I nailed it. Ben says, good job. Jay says, that's just gas. No, it's not just gas. All right. So it's not just gas. So I did practice that ahead of time, and I'm glad it worked out. But anything that deals with cancer, and I think cancer is such a horrible thing. Any drug that's going effectively after cancer, I think is always a drug to keep your eyes on. It may be a short-term play, but I want you to keep your eyes both on Jazz Pharmaceuticals and on Zyme. Notice that Jazz is up today, but Zyme is down. I just need you guys to just keep your eyes. This is a speculative play. Both of these stocks, I just want you to keep your eyes on them. Now, this is big news here. Genius Group names ex-FBI official to head task force to investigate illegal trading in stock to pay special dividend. This stock is up over 200% today. Last time it looked was at 208%. I think that this is news driven. We're going to take a look at this stock and go from there. All right, we're going to take a look. I am a GI physician, and it's adeno. Is that what it is? Thank you, David. Again, I just tried. At least, David, give me a star for trying. That's all I can ask for. Give me a star for trying. All right, I'm looking at, we got 238 people. We're almost there. Let's get to 300 people, folks. Go out and push this live stream to the people you know. All right. Mark talked about Charles Schwab, and in our VectorVest, go to our main site, VectorVest.com, go over to the blogs, go over the hot stocks. Here's a story right from our blog. Charles Schwab stocks drop after missing earnings and revenue. What does that mean for you? And you know something? We put out our own story about the stock, what things you need to look for. So every day, if you go down the blogs and go down the hot stocks from VectorVest.com, folks, we put out a stock almost every single day. All right, so if you want to stay on top of what we don't always talk about, come check this out. All right, come check this out. So we're going to look at Charles Schwab today. All right, let me get into the software, get into my watch list. Let's get into my watch list. Oh, before we do that, this is where the market sits today. Interesting. What does today's candle look like? What is the candlestick pattern that you're looking at today? Anybody want to put that out there? Anybody want to put that out there? That's a classic candlestick pattern. What is that called? You sold your Schwab, Ramon? I don't own any Schwab at this particular point in time. But there you go. Mark is right. It's a hammer. But normally a hammer happens at the bottom of a pattern. At the bottom of a pattern. Hanging Man Richard normally happens at the top of a pattern. So it's interesting that we've fallen enough. We got a hammer formation, which means we got a long wick at the bottom, which shows some buying potential. All right, some buying potential. The 3 and 8, even with the big drop off, the 3 and 8 are still positive. But we do have a primary wave down. That's at least a call for you to start dipping your toe into the water for contras or playing the market to the downside. Don't back up the truck, right? Don't back up the truck because anything can happen between today and tomorrow. Good afternoon, Chewy. Glad to see you here. All right, so just keeping that in mind, I'm not going to show the MTI. I'll normally do that on Mondays, but we are pulling off for 3 days in a row. All right, the 3 is still above the 8, and we do have a hammer formation, which could open the door for some buying into tomorrow. We'll see. Possibly. You know me, I'm not going to predict. I can see the candlestick formation. I can read the candlestick formation. The DEW hasn't gone down. The confirmed call hasn't gone down. Only one timing signal has gone down, and that's the primary wave. Is that tail long enough for a hammer? It's got to be 2 times the body. It's got to be 2 times the body, right? I'm thinking that might be 2 times the body. I can do the calculation, but guess what? I ain't going to do it. Is the primary wave still there? The primary wave right now, Alan, as of today, is still down, but we haven't closed yet. All right, so the market hasn't given us a real primary wave down until the market closes today. Are we likely to see some rotation here? Absolutely. And stocks are going to start rotating into or going into the stronger industries. And we're going to start looking at that today as well. All right, let's go to my watch list. Markets, all of the major indices are down. But look at that. They're coming off of their session lows, which shows that long wick at the bottom of the VVC. We got some buying pressure. These are now off the session lows. It's going to be very interesting. Hold on. It's going to be very interesting to see if we close with a primary wave down today. Where are we at? 56.29. Wow, yeah, I think we're gonna solidly close unless we get back above 56.46. We're gonna stay with a primary wave down today. All right, so I think it's safe to say that we'll have that, and then we'll see what goes on for the day after that. Well, tomorrow is the last day of the week, right? All right, but all of the major indices are down, but they are coming off their session lows. Volatility is back above 20, which means that we have a heightened level of volatility on the S&P 500, which is not good for the market. Normally on a down day, people are more fearful in the market. And I think over the last few days, this has gone from below 20 to above 20 because people are getting a little bit more fearful in the market. Only 16 cents to move it back up. I don't think we're going to get 16 cents today. That's what I think. I don't think we're going to get there. All right. So with that, the big stock news, let's go see the stocks that made my news today. Looking at the Genius Group, this was up 220%. I think that this is just very story-driven, fundamentally not sound. So I'm not sure I would like this long-term, but a big move today. Do you think you should get into it today? No, probably all of the move has been made. But I would keep my eye on it going into the close. It's way overvalued. There's nothing that I would like long-term about it. But could it have some residual carryover tomorrow? Possibly. Big enough news, I would think if you're going to think about getting into it, if it's still rising going into the close, I would wait for the last 15 minutes of the close. But, who's to say that there's not going to be a lot of profit taking tomorrow? Be careful with it. Schwab miss. You can see that it's feeling the effects. It's down 6%. Procter & Gamble miss. You can see that it's down 1.6%. Oil, I think it's going to be on the rise. But again, watch tomorrow's video. Jazz Pharmaceutical with the F's. That thing, I got to read it. I can't say it off the top of my head. Up today by the other stock, Zyme is down today. So let's go take a look at these on a graph. Right click, view the stock graph. And let's go put these on a 3-month graph. Let's go see what we like. So, yeah, this is why I don't like this long term. It did nothing, boom, and we are getting profit taking on today's activity. A big wick at the top of the candle. RT did go above 1. I'm looking at the DPO did go up above, just got above 1. And MACD, from a technical standpoint, is moving up as well. I don't like the big wick at the top of the candle. All right. Wick is 2.6 times the body, which was on that hammer. Derek, is that did you calculate it out? Was that on the hammer? All right. So then if that is the case, then it truly is a hammer. Then it truly is the hammer. I hear Peter gave you a sledgehammer. Dun, dun. Why don't you call out my name? Dun, dun. I want to be your sledgehammer. There you go. I sang it out for you. I sell it out. I sang it out for you, Drew. Yesterday's sell-off was on low volume, so there wasn't a lot of conviction behind the move, you're saying, Rick? And you know something, whether the move is to the upside, to the downside, you always want to have some conviction behind the move. I think something is wrong with your mic. No, it's not, Jay. You can't be talking. You're in timeout. You're in, and T-Can says, keep your day job. I don't know you enough, T-Cans, to put you in timeout yet, so at least that could have just been an honest opinion. All right, that could have been an honest opinion. So I'll take that from you, T-Cans. Even though I may not like your opinion, I guess I have to accept it. All right, so Mike is good today. Yes, again, Joey did a lot of work into trying to make the mic much better than it was yesterday. All right, what other stocks are in there? Schwab missed. You're feeling it. Interesting that it's stopping right at a level of support, sitting at 75.80. Beautiful stop at that level of support. And there's a lot of conviction to the move. A lot of people are dumping it. But it did fall to a level of support. Let's see if that level of support will hold. Next one is Procter & Gamble. They missed, fell through a beautiful level of support that got hit 1, 2, 3 times before it fell prior to earnings. It may have, and it's got a big wick at the top of its candle showing some selling pressure. And what else is in the list? Oil. Again, watch tomorrow's video. The new mic did not help your singing. Wow. That was brutally honest. Wow, James. That sort of hurt a little bit. Oh, well. I got to, listen, I got to take it. That's what I'm going to call helpful criticism. Hurt my feelings, though, James. I'm going to cry a little bit. Hold on. There we go. That's for you, James. But then on the other side, thank you for being here. So I can take it, but man, Joey's in the background laughing while I'm crying. Double secret probation, says Mark. No, it's either timeout or not. All right, so the next one is Jazz Pharmaceuticals. How about this stock prior to the news is a little bit of sideways move? I'd like to see it take out that high. I do like that the 3 and the 8 have just crossed back up a little bit. Stan is leading the swing trading coaching group today. Is he really? All right. So, if you got to go, I hope you don't, but if you got to go, I totally understand. I like that it's in a sideways move. All right. Coming off of that almost looks like a hammer too, right? Moving up in a channel. I'd like to see it take out the high. Maybe the news is enough to push it up. Notice that the stock for the last 3 months or so has primarily been a hold or a buy, a little bit of a sell towards the beginning of the 3 months. But bottom left, top right, a little consolidation. I'm hoping that the news can push it higher. And the last stock is Zyme, goes along with the Jazz Pharmaceutical. It just went the opposite way of Jazz, big down, but the 3 and the 8 still looks solid. Broke out of a channel. I still like the stock, just a bad day today. Can I go with you, Jay? No, you don't leave me. You're going to make me cry again. Marines don't cry. Glenn, could you mention what graph layout you're using when you graph stocks? Thanks in advance. Greg, a lot of these are graphs that I make for the live stream. So in this is, I believe, called my technical graph. If I go, let's go. I think this one is called my technical graph. I've got a lot of graph layouts for you. GETR Tech. Yep, that's my technical graph where I'm looking at the 3 and the 8, support and resistance, relative timing, volume, an average volume of volume, the DPO, and the MACD. All right. Badger says Glenn was going to be the lead singer in the Beach Boys, but the U.S. Marines needed him at the time. That's true. I was going to be the lead singer, but the Corps called me. Why is your parameter panel so wide? I can't see the left of your charts. Now that. Oh, that's interesting. What did you do? I don't know why.
You're in the wrong scene.
Say, do I need, that's why. I need to be on that scene.
Here, take this.
Take this. Oh, yeah. I was jacked up a little bit. Hold on.
You gotta take it again.
I gotta find my graphs.
It's right here.
It's right here. Oh. Sorry about that. I was on the wrong layout on the, okay, now you can see it. Sorry about that, Mark.
Clear the chat.
And clear that. I got you, Mark. I was looking, I got 2 different views. That's the view for the program. Now you can see it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right, so that was the last stock for my big news. So let's go see what industries are moving. All right, so I've got a search for you. Let's go to unit search. I got a search for you in the Delta searches industries. Let's see what industries are moving. All right, I'm thinking that a lot less industries should be moving with the market going the way it is, right? Let's go cryptos. Cryptos, good gravy. Cryptos has just been moving and rocking and rolling. And I hope, how many of you are trading cryptos? Type of one in the room. How many of you currently are trading cryptos? Type of one in the room. I will tell you to be careful with them. I think that it's being hyped up again. I just saw a story that FTX, the current president of FTX, was thinking about starting up shop again. Man, I just don't know if the population, if the American investors are feeling comfortable with that. I don't know yet. I don't know if the bad taste that FTX left in a lot of people's mouths has gone away. I just don't think that it has. But nonetheless, the VectorVest system shows that crypto is on the rise. I'd be very careful with those stocks, folks. If I double click on that, I should be able to see the stocks that are in there. And let's see if any of these have an RV above 1. Well, IREN has a relative value above 1. And look at this, negative earnings. A lot of these companies, a lot of these crypto companies, folks, ain't making no money. So if you take these, all right, the new president, Ramon, is not in prison. The new president is the one that's saying he's thinking about opening up shop, reopening up shop. If you're going to be in any of these long term, you're going to hurt yourselves. Let's go see which ones out of the crypto are moving up. BTCM got an RT of 1.7 high with, if I'm going to take anything, I try to make sure that I'm in any of these cryptos that are moving up. All right, are moving up. So just be careful with them is all I got to say. What else is moving? I think I saw uranium up there. Yes, it is. That's one of my 6 commodities that I'll be talking about tomorrow. 25% RT Delta 10 days ago, up 32% this year. Uranium stock. Again, commodities are a hot thing. I want you to watch tomorrow's video. Software desktop is on the rise. Software healthcare. Ooh, look at that. From 8% up to 29%. Let's go see what's moving in there. So at least we're giving you some ideas of what stocks are on the rise, what industries are on the rise. Highest VST, CERT, Health Catalyst, HIMS, and HERS Health. Say again, Joey. All right. So there's some stocks by VST. Which are the fastest moving in the industry? HCAT again, HIMS, CERTA, blah, 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 blah. Which ones have the best upside? Signify. A lot of these names I don't know. I just be careful with them as well. But these are the ones that have the best upside by way of RV. So by going through the process of looking at some industry rotation, no, Ben, I am not. So in my unit search, I used the 10-day RT Delta and added a line. I added a line 10 days ago. The industry RT 10-day was greater than 0. So 10 days ago, these industries are positive. And what I'm looking for in the search is, I know that they were positive 10 days ago. Dang nabbit. I know that they were positive 10 days ago, but what have they done over the last 2 trading weeks or the last 10 days? And that can tell me, 117% in change in Delta 10 days ago, but over the last 10 days has gone up. So that is the reason why I built this search, to find you what's really on the rise as far as industries. Does that make sense, Ben? All right, does that make sense? I've gone outside of just RT ranking. I've gone a little further to really hone in on what's working. All right, that's what I've done. All right. Swing trade plays. So on Thursday again, I like looking at. These all broke. This happens. I hate that. So you know what I'm gonna have to do, Joey? I'm gonna have to open this back up again. Sigh. All right. So let me close this. All right, I got to open back up my 7. I guess I really do need to talk to somebody about that, right?
You break everything.
Whatever. You sign in. My homepage ain't going to be broken out. So, let's get this logged back in again. So, I got this book of one-liners. Where's it at? While this is coming up, I had somebody from the Tampa 2 Day send me a book of one-liners. I'm going to open up. Never used a felt tip marker to clean your ears. Solution for a guilt-free life. If you have to lie to someone, it's their fault. Never argue with a fool. People might not be able to tell a difference. Wow. I love this book. This book has just got pages and pages and pages of one-liners. Old age comes at a really bad time. I saw the screw-up fairy has visited you again. I love this book. That came from Euclid. Euclid, are you here? I met him at the Tampa 2 Day, and he sent me, it's called The Humor and Wisdom of the Aged. The Humor and Wisdom of the Aged. So, all right, let's go back to the viewers, go back to the watch list viewer. And here we go. Swing trades, EMA squeeze. So, I'm not allowed to show you the search of the EMA squeeze because that's a perk of taking the swing trading course, but I can give you some candidates from it. So I can't give you the search. Again, it's a perk of going to the swing trade course. All right. What I will do is graph these, and I have an EMA squeeze graph for you. I can do that. All right, I can do that. Graph layouts, EMA, and that came from Stan Heller. All right, but I can't give you the search, but it's got 4 moving averages. And I'm looking at this. There's the 50-day, then there's a 5, an 8, and a 13. The search already finds me these stocks from a speculative play. Keep your eyes on this. Coming off of a session of a low, gaining some momentum, stock to keep your eyes on. All right, this is all over the place. This is a very volatile stock, but all of the moving averages did cross. It's moving up, very little wick at the top. But again, this stock is all over the place. All right, be careful with that. Same thing with this one, Contra, another drug company, but all the moving averages have crossed today. Keep your eyes on it. Again, for nothing more than the purpose of giving you some stocks to keep your eyes on. And the last one is IONS. All 4 of the moving averages across, very little wick at the top compared to the body, $40.54. All right. So again, this comes from Canada with our very own Stan Heller. I can't show you the search, but I can run the search and get you some candidates. If you want to learn more about the search and how this works, you know something, you need to go out to our main website, go down to education. And we've got a lot of education here for you. You can take a course, education. You can take a course or group coaching. You want to learn more about it, go to our main website, www.vectorvest.com. Go to education. We've got on basic investing. We've got on retirement. We've got options. We got swing trading. If you want to ever sharpen any of those tools in your tool belt, we can do it. And you can start off with the digital course. Why not just go get the course? All right. Or if you want more hands-on and access to coaching, we have coaching as well. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. So the EMA squeeze is part of the swing trading course, right? Swing trading using the DEW swingers, something that David Paul talked about. It was a search that he did. Let's go to Unisearch, Tampa 23. It was the DEW, where is it? DEW swingers. All right. Looking at the comfort index, he used it on the S&P 500. I'm using it on the whole market. CI, comfort index has got to be greater than 1.2. Average volume of the stock has got to be greater than 200,000 shares. And my sort is CI times growth. Stocks that have the ability to withstand long or lengthy price declines with good earnings growth. So I ran the search. I did some due diligence to find you the stocks. I only found you 3 stocks from the DEW swingers. Remember, the DEW is still up. All right. What did Drew say? Drew said, I want to die peacefully like my grandfather, not screaming and yelling like the passengers in his car. Sigh. All right. Rogers, what did you guys are chatting back and forth on among yourselves? DEW swingers, love the name. So John, that's something that David Paul came up with. All right, he came up with that. So let's go graph these stocks, and I'm going to bring up. Do I have the DEW swingers layout? It's the bow tie. Nope, there's no layout. So what I am going to look at is, since this is more of a technical play, I am going to put on the trade. All right, looking at the 3 and the 8, RT, and volume. MPC met the criteria of the DEW swingers. CI above 1.2, average volume greater than 200,000 shares. I love that the stock is trading right now very close to a 3-month high. Relative timing looks good. I'd like to see more volume. All right, next one. I'm not feeling this. Oh, hold on. Put this on 3-month. There we go. Not 1 hour. There we go. I like that MPC broke out of a channel. 3-8 solid, moving up. Couple of wicks here, but no follow through. Couple of big wicks showing some selling pressure. 3 and 8 are still strong. I'd love to see it take out the high, but I wouldn't mind buying it now. Volume's pretty steady. RT is above 1. Next one is PBT of petroleum. New 3-month high today. I'm telling you, oil, petroleum. I'm telling you, just keep your eyes on it. I'd like to see more volume, but RT is above 1. And the last one is another petroleum coming off of a 3-month high. Selling pressure here. No follow through. I'm liking petroleum. I'm liking oil once again. All right. So what else do I have? Swing trades. Now, this is the bow tie. This is a search that David Paul put out called the bow tie. Where is it at? And it's using a 21, 55, and 80 something. So this is sort of the bow tie search. I didn't have all of the moving averages for it. So it's sort of the bow tie search. But when I ran it, no stocks. So right now, this is good for breakouts. From a swing trade perspective, this search is great for breakouts. 78. No, it's not 78. I think it's 89. I think it's 21, 55, and 89. I think that's what it is. So I don't have all of those, so I got as close as I could. But when I look at the graphs of these stocks, once they do meet the criteria, I've got the right moving averages on the graph. I cannot just put it into the search, Mark. That's my only problem. I just can't put it into the search. All right, let's go back. So in there, we didn't have any stocks from the bow tie. Let's go to speculative plays. This one is using a search that I like called Teeny Bopper Supercharged. All right, these are speculative plays. Let's go take a look at them. I don't know any news on them. I'm strictly looking at put on 3-month. I'm strictly looking at the technicals on here, all right, because these are speculative plays. And let's go, once this opens up. Oh, since it's taking that long. Oh, wow, look at that PLX. With the volume. Whew. I'll leave this on. The 3 and 8 look good. Broke through a level of resistance. This is why I have a search that looks for stocks where the 3 and 8 just crossed, which I love. But look at that. Nicely moving higher along with rising volume. Keep your eyes on it. Now, a lot of you will say it's too late to get into that. Well, you could have said that here. You could have said that here. You could have said that here. If the stock is going up, folks, just be careful. All right, just keep your eyes on it. I've been running VectorVest daily, no results. Vector plus Vector. You know what that tells you, Roger? That the market really is looking at doing a pullback. Think about that. Market is down, yet my portfolio is up. That is the power of VectorVest sorts and Unisearch. Love that, John. DEW swingers, you got to have testicular fortitude. If David were here, he would say they got to have testicular fortitude. I love when he does that. I love when he does that. All right, what else is in here? ORGS, bottom left, top right. What I don't like about this is the volume, but it is moving up. RT is above 1. I don't like the lack of volume. Be careful with this. And the last one, nope, not the last one. Here it is, O-Cup moving up. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Volume looks better. All right, love the move. Bottom left, top right, broke out of resistance, 3-8 cross, hitting a new 3-month high today. Wow, SV, look at these. These are all speculative plays. Whew. All I'm telling you to do, folks, is keep your eyes on them. And if they give you still more opportunity, the 3 and 8 strong, the volume is strong on SVR. I'm writing that down. I might have to take a look at that myself. SVRA. I like that, especially with the rising volume. I like that. I like that stock, and I cannot lie. That's right, got an alibi. And I put some money into that stock, and baby, it goes up. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Woo! I only had 1 cup of coffee today, folks. Oof. RGS, I'm not feeling that. Yeah, it might have met the criteria, but good, googly muggly. I'm not feeling that. I'd stay away from that. Not only did the 3-8 cross, but it also broke through a level of support of 149. All right, so I would stay away from that stock. Massimo says JNUG. Oil is going to be in tomorrow's video, and so is gold. I got six commodities that I'm giving some analysis on. Make sure you watch it tomorrow, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. My picks. What did I pick? Picks? Oh, yeah. So my picks are leading into tomorrow's video. Here are the 6 commodities that I'm looking at. Copper, gold, uranium, oil, lithium, and natural gas. Folks, I put a lot of work into that. I'm going to give you some insight on which one of these commodities look good now, which one of these commodities you need to keep your eyes on. If there was only a button I could push to see what the news is on SVRA. Oh, you want to see what the news is on SVRA? Wow. All right, let's go back to my speculative plays. SVRA looks good. So, Mark, I'm glad you asked that. If I just simply right-click on SVRA and go look at View Stock News, it'll pull it up for me. All right, it'll pull it up for me. 5% today. I love the equity curve. Is there any news? Well, the last news was 14 days ago. Private equity firm are Savannah's biggest owners and were rewarded after the market cap rose. So their market cap rose by 25 million. That was 2 weeks ago. Do I have a press release? Nope. 2 months ago, Savra announces new employment inducement grant. Other than that, I've got no news on it, Mark. John says, Glenn, TS is breaking out and the 3-8 is long. Stocks like this can be runners like you showed with the 3-8 bullish. So, I like that. So again, I'm going to go the extra mile for you. I've got to search. I got to search YouTube. I got to search that looks at 3-8s. Where's it at? Breakout stocks 3-8 EMA. I got to search. Let's go run it. All right. This wasn't part of today's plan. Look at that. I got nothing. Nothing, since I don't have you. All right. So this is looking at stocks price trending higher for 2 days. Relative timing less than 1. So I want to find stocks that are coming from below 1 on RT to above 1 on RT. Relative value above 1. I want to make sure that these stocks have good upside. The earnings growth rate greater than 10%. Price split adjusted. Breaking resistance by 0.5%. And my EMAs, the 3 and the 8 have crossed in the past 5 days. I got nothing. John says, I got to search. You got to search. You use my search. I'm not. Listen. So this is a search. I love the 3-8 crossovers, but this also gives me some insight that the market is not conducive to finding stocks that are breaking out right now. I think it backs up our market timing bigly. I think it really, really does. Do you agree with that? Type of 1 in the room. Do you agree that when you're looking at searches within the VectorVest system, if it doesn't return stocks, that backs up the whole notion of what's going on in the market right now? Glenn, have you looked at MPI stocks yet? No, I don't do them on Thursdays. I think I do those on Mondays, either Monday or Wednesday. As a matter of fact, let's go to afternoon market action. Nope, it's not on Wednesday. Let's go to midday market. It's on Mondays. Mondays we do the MPI. Well, not, and again, remember, I'm trying to spread out the stuff that we did in Tampa across all of my live streams. So I can't do them all. All right. So it looks like Mondays we'll look at the MPI. Darn, this bacon is really thin. I'm going to start another. Well, you need to send me some of that bacon. You know what I'm saying? You need to hook a brother up. Send me some of that bacon. Good. Googly muggly. All right. What time is it? 2:50. I'm over the time. All right. So one last thing. If the market really wants to show that it's got legs to the downside, I am going to look at, here's a list of contras for you. A lot of these are triple leveraged. Keep your eyes on them. Look at the moves of them today. Let's go sort this by percent price change. Looks like stocks. I did pick up Hibbs today. All right, I did pick up Hibbs today. Understand that they're triple leverage. You don't want to hold these long term. All right, you don't want to hold these. If you're going to look at contras to hold long term, look for non-leverage Contra ETFs. Does everybody in the room understand that? Type a yes or a no. All right, if you're going to trade these triple leverage, these are short-term, a day or two. If you're going to look for long-term Contra ETFs, you want to look for non-leverage Contras. If you understand what I just said, type a yes or a no in the room, because, folks, that's going to make the difference with the market going down between you making money and losing money fast. All right, if you're trying to play the market long-term to the downside, Siberia, what that means is if you're going to look to play Contra ETFs, you do not want to hold directions or triple leverage Contras more than a day or so. If you're going to look, and I'll help you out, Siberia, to watch this. Go to viewers, go to ETFs, and I'm going to help you. If you're a VectorVest subscriber, Siberia, we have a watch list called non-leveraged Contras right here. All right. Non-leveraged, that means they move in accordance to whatever they track by only 1-to-1, not leveraged 2 or 3-to-1. All right. And if you're going to always look at a watch list, I want you to always go over to average volume, sort the watch list by average volume. And now, Siberia, these I can hold a little longer. But notice they don't go up as much. And I'm okay with that. These I can hold a little longer. Siberia, does that make sense to you? Siberia, does that make sense? These I can hold. These are non-leverage Contras. And again, they don't rock and roll like the triple leverage, but if you're longer term, I'll take 0.4%. All right, so Glenn, you should audition for America's Got Talent. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Am I going to sing? Because if I'm going to sing, I ain't going to make it. If I'm going to sing, I ain't going to make it. Ray says, oh yeah, been burnt by the 3 times. So again, I think that this is a good public service announcement that if you are going to trade Contras longer term, concentrate on the non-leverage Contras. That's why I wanted everybody in the room to answer yes or no if it made sense. John says, I don't like buying Contras when the DEW, and I wouldn't do it. And the only reason why I went and bought my Contra is because I think we're going to stay with a primary wave down, but probably won't hold it past tomorrow. All right. And if I really want to be long term, I'd probably pick up 1 or 2 of these non-leverage Contras. That's what I would do. Glenn, I'm always learning something new watching you. Thanks. Thank you for supporting us. That's all I got to say. Thank you for supporting us. Don't worry about it. My homepage ain't up, so I'm right where I need to be. We almost got to 300 people, folks. How many likes did we get? 86. You know me, I like to try to get to 100 likes before we leave. If it was worth it for you to stop by and spend some time with me today, hit the like button. If you learned something today, hit the like button. If you really learned something today, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Folks, we do this 3 times a week. We have 3 live streams, and then we have 3 videos that we put out at 6 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. All right, so Glenn, my singing has improved because of you. That's what I like. I like that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because my singing is pretty bad, but I love to do it anyway. All right, folks. PR or VLO? Let's go see that real quick. Let me put us back. PR or VLO? PR, comma, or VLO? if I'm going to look at these, let's go look at the graphs of these real quick. Let's go put this on to end of day, 3 month. Let's go see, put these side by side. If I'm looking at these, move that over, move that over. PR looks like a good opportunity to get in as RT is just going above 1, where VLO has already been rocking. All right, PR looks like you could be buying off of a dip and moving up. I like that it moved through 2 levels of resistance. The 3 and the 8 looks good. This is 1 hour. See, I thought I just put this on end of day, 3 months. Let me go look at it again. Oh, and VLO is doing the same thing, but VLO is closer to a 3-month high than PR. So if I'm looking at that, and let's go look at one other thing, relative value, relative safety, VLO is fundamentally sound, and the safety on PR is below 1. So if I'm looking at owning it longer term, I like this. I like the fundamentality of VLO as opposed to VR. All right, that was another thing just done on the fly. Mark says my hearing is diminished because of you. You know what I got for you, Mark? That's what I got for you. All right, that's what I got for you, buddy. All right, I gotta go. Again, don't forget about tomorrow's video at 6 p.m. It's going to be about commodities. I think it's going to bring a lot of attention to which commodities are the best for plays, and then I'm going to give you some stocks to play those commodities. Mark says you didn't hear that. Did you hear this, Mark? How about that? Did you hear that, Mark? I'm sure you did. All right. So, and then for everybody else who's awesome, I got this for you. I played that for Joey. Joey, I just played the air horn. All right. I gotta go. I love you guys to death. Thank you very much for trying to get us up to 300. We're going to get there. And then we're going to get to 4. And then we're going to get to 5. And then at some point in time, folks, we're going to be listening to thousands. We're going to have thousands of people here because people are going to understand what we do here at VectorVest on the YouTube channel. We're unlike anybody else out there. We really are. And I need more people to understand that. All right. With that, nice work, Joey. Microphone is coming through clearly. Joey did a lot of work, folks. He went through a lot of stuff to get this right, and I'm glad that it's good to go. All right. With that, folks, I got to go. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara. Aloha to all my folks in Hawaii. Aloha he, aloha hey. Bom dia. Salam, shalom, namaste. Yasu. Until next time, folks. See ya.